What is up, everybody? And welcome to the inaugural Dirty Men's League preview. I am Justin Campbell, toupee wearer, and I am hosting the Dirty Men's League podcast because I decided to. Could have been any of us, but I decided that it'd be a lot of fun. And guys, so this is gonna be a weekly podcast that I'll be doing, bringing in hopefully a bunch of you. We can do this, kind of just review it together, have a good time hanging out, get to know each other better, and also roast people making terrible trades, terrible start-sit decisions, all those kinds of things, as I ride my way all the way to glory. But today I brought in the man, the myth, the legend himself, our commissioner, Nathaniel Johnson. Well, thank you for coming to the show, my man. How you doing today?
I am doing great. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for the season. Sorry if there's any glares reflecting off my championship rings. I apologize. Just let me know, and I can arrange them differently. But fun fact, actually, one of these belongs to Marcus, and I haven't mailed it to him yet. But I'm gonna wear it and maybe just keep it. So sorry, Duke. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm doing good. We had the draft last night, and what a time to be alive post-draft day.
Post-draft day before week one is probably the most optimistic any of us can be, right? It's like, this is it. This is it. My team looks great. You start doing the creative rabbit trails. You're like, well, if DeAndre Swift goes down and Jamal Williams goes down, then like, good thing I've got the third string Detroit running back, and that's what's probably going to happen. All of a sudden, everyone believes that they're the champion. But we're here today to dispel those myths. But before that, I want to talk about the league. Nate, I think this is a really good league. It's a lot of fun. But I want to hear from you as a commissioner. What makes Dirty Men's League so great?
Besides the fact that it's called the Dirty Men's League, there's what I love about our league is we all play in leagues with guys who the people in this league really pay attention. They all really watch football. They know what they're doing. And that might be true, but also a lot of those leagues, it's just not fun. And there's it's difficult to make trades. People don't want to communicate. There's no it's just not fun. It's not a time, and people get angry. And the cool thing about Dirty Men's League is we're all just a group of guys who love football or love each other and just want to get in there and have a good time. So every year, and for the last 2 years, we brought in two new guys each time. And this year I'm excited. We got two new guys with us as well, Xander and Zeus. Hopefully those guys can buy into the culture of the Dirty Men's League and just have a lot of fun. But yeah, man, I think that what makes this league special is the core of people that are a part of it. It's all guys that just love to play and they keep coming back for it. So every year this is my favorite league, and I know I'm the commissioner, so it sounds like I'm biased, but I'm in 8 leagues this year, and each year this one's my the one that makes me smile the most.
Say the same thing about my favorite girlfriend, no, I'm just kidding. That's big time, man. Absolutely. I think that people do make it in this league. I think I like having these 2 new guys. Having Zeus on the Zoom last night, me getting to hang out with him a little bit, virtually was cool. And I think that's important. So yeah, man, I agree. This league's just a lot of fun. So talk us through the 2 changes. You already made a video explaining the rules. You didn't mention the added flex, but it's cool. Yeah, you're straight to the pole, bro. But within that, talk to me about why you wanted to make these 2 adjustments and what you're hoping that brings to the league.
Yeah. One thing that I love this league because everyone does participate so well, and it's a league that we're always looking to do fun and innovative things. And this league, we do things that I haven't done in other leagues before, whether it's from winner of the consolation bracket gets the first overall pick. That's really fun to me. And being able to keep the guys in the rounds that we have is really fun to me. But we've also been doing this league for 6 or 7 years now. And I think that to avoid any sort of it's just the same old thing. And as more of our guys get involved in Dynasty and get to experience some other types of leagues, there's a necessity in keeping your league relevant and keeping what you're doing fun and keeping everybody engaged in new ways. So each season I try to set out with how can we do that? What can we do that could introduce a new level of intrigue without getting too wild, introducing IDP and a bunch of different positions. And now, yeah, I'm in a league like that, and I just draft my starting lineup looks so good because everyone's taking IDP players and I just have all these studs, but I lose because I don't know who those, like, their defenders are scoring so much. So, without putting a level that requires you to like really dial in and research, and for some of our busier guys are like, I don't have the time for that. It still allows us to just bring a little bit extra fun. So the area where we struggle the most as a league is knowing about the incoming class and what that looks like. And every year we see, some fun decisions based off of that. So I thought I wanted to try to introduce that, and that's what we ended up doing with the franchise tag. And I hope that 9 of our 10 guys all did a franchise tag this year. Nicholas is the only one that didn't. Scrub. He is also the reigning champion, so maybe he knows what he's doing and we don't. And I would also wager that he voted on the poll without watching the video at all. Yeah, like Marcus is, what video are you talking about? Freaking Marcus.
But he still voted, man. That's my favorite thing.
Voted.
Like, sure, man.
And Nicholas is the same way. I texted him, hey, don't forget to vote on that poll, and then immediately there was a vote put in from him, which was great that he was willing to do that, but I don't know that he watched the 5-minute video. So he doesn't have a franchise tag, but everybody else does. And so that'll be fun to see whether people hold on to those franchise tags or if people move on, and at next year's draft, how that plays out. The other thing is adding a new flex is, even though it totally was mentioned in the video, it's an exciting thing because we're a 10-team league, and being able to dig a little bit deeper and see, it kind of helps you, instead of everyone's team having a stud or having somebody that's like, okay, this is clearly my starting lineup each week. It kind of gives you some of that variance and allows you to go after that fourth individual and start say, who's going to blow up this week? Who do I expect? Just brings another level of depth.
Yeah, man, I think, your ideas are like a good website, keeping everything fresh. You know what I'm saying? No, but I like it a lot, man. This is a lot of fun. And so, I think the added flex to it just kind of takes away, since it is a 10-man league, right? The deeper we can kind of make that starting roster, the less it kind of just becomes, well, it's my studs versus your studs, and we'll see which one scores more touchdowns, right? At that point, it should be a touchdown-only league, So I like this a lot. Glad we did it. So sorry, John Whitfield, the only person who voted against it, but screw you, dude. So so hey guys, today, we wanted to dive right in right here. We're gonna be talking about the draft. What we decided to do is we're just gonna go round by round, and we're gonna say each of our favorite, not like consensus. We haven't predetermined this besides the first round. I think we discussed that to kind of prime our pumps a little bit. But we're gonna talk about like a lawnmower, anyway, we're gonna talk about our favorite pick of each round and our least favorite pick of each round. If you don't get mentioned, great. That means you're in the middle of the pack, means you're in the silent majority. And then if you do get mentioned, it's nothing personal, unless it is, right? Don't worry, we're coming after you, Prospect Perez, for every single pick. So without further ado, we're gonna dive right in. So starting with number 1, I guess I'll go ahead and share. What do you think, Nate? Should I share the screen, or should I just, so they can see the draft on their own? I think they'd rather see us engaging, right?
Yeah, we're beautiful. I'm wearing a collar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you are. I can. Anyway, all right, here we go. All right, so Nate, we'll take turns. I'll give you the odds and I'll take the evens. Like, we'll both commentate, but you'll go first on the odds and I'll go first on the evens. That'll kind of make it flow. So for you, Nate, in round 1, give us your favorite pick and then what you thought was the biggest reach.
Okay. My favorite pick in round 1 is probably, this is a tough one. No, obviously Christian McCaffrey should be he went at the 101. He's the expected. If Chunk hadn't taken Christian McCaffrey, we would have all been like, what? And then I may have kicked him out of the league because he would have given Marcus Christian McCaffrey again. And it would be like Marcus just had a franchise tag on CMC forever. And we can't allow that. So that's my favorite pick because he did hose Marcus from getting him. But outside of the expected favorite pick there, I think that my actual favorite pick is probably Zeus with the 105 taking Aaron Jones. Tyreek Hill's great, and I know, Marcus went after Tyreek. Nicholas took Saquon, and then the pick after that was Najee. And, Najee to Kirk, big surprise. But I think Aaron Jones slipping down that far, the way that our league works, is pretty good value. So yeah, Aaron Jones is my favorite pick there, and my least favorite pick in the first round, like we discussed, is probably Saquon, simply because I'm worried about him. Saquon just scares me, and I think with like Aaron Jones still on the board, and even like a Mixon, I would probably take Mixon over Saquon just based on fears and cowardice. So maybe Saquon is amazing, and we're like, man, the last podcast of the season, we're like, Nicholas is so much better than all of us. So yeah, probably Saquon is my least favorite, the biggest reach, and Aaron Jones as the best value there.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all, man. I'm actually going to surprise you after looking at it again. My favorite pick is Tyreek Hill. It takes guts to take a wide receiver at the 102 there when there's so many running backs, and I think it's the right pick. There's a lot less variance in that. You kind of these running backs can be just sort of like all the best ones are kept mainly, outside of a couple. Obviously, some of these guys taken in the first, but you have a chance for Tyreek Hill. I mean, he can win you a week anytime, anywhere, with that offense. So I love that pick. And then my least favorite pick was Najee Harris, taking him at the 104. I would be literally shocked if him and Aaron Jones play the full season and Aaron Jones doesn't beat him by like 40 points.
Yeah.
I'd be really, really shocked. It's a better offense from top to bottom. I mean, Aaron Jones is on a better offense. He's got a better quarterback. He's got a better offensive line. And I think they're going to be a better team. That's not a roast of Pittsburgh. I just think that they're on a better team. So it's got more winning situations. Pittsburgh does suck. I think this is actually, I could see them going 8-9 and finishing like one game ahead of Cincinnati and like being kind of like below average this year. I could be wrong, but it's like they're in a rough place. If Big Ben is as old as he is, spoiler alert, he is over 40. They have to rely on him / Dwayne Haskins. I don't think that's going to be great, but that's okay. It's not okay for them. It's okay for us as non-Steeler fans. So anyway, let's move forward to round 2 here. For me, my least favorite pick is going to be Patrick Mahomes at the 2-1. I love Patrick Mahomes. I think that's obviously right. He's one of the best, most talented quarterbacks in the league. One of the most powerful offenses. But to take him, namely ahead of who I'm going to kind of highlight, taking him before D-Hop doesn't make sense to me. Especially the quarterback. Tanner picked up Tua this morning on waivers. Like that. What's going on? Like I actually will tell you later. Like my least favorite pick of the 6th round is probably my own. Taking Dak in the 6th when apparently Tua is just going to be available at the end. Ryan Tannehill is just available, and Jalen Hurts is just available, and Justin, whatever his last name is, not Herbert, but the other one, Fields. Yeah, that 14th round we're going to highlight later, that quarterback round of Trey Lance, Jalen Hurts, and Justin Fields. What am I doing taking a quarterback 8 rounds before that? A lot of regret there. So all I have to say, Patrick Mahomes, best talented quarterback in the league for sure, I would say. But still, to take him that early over guys like D-Hop, Waller, Keenan Allen, Allen Robinson, Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans, like that, I'm against that. I'm not in favor of that. So that's my least favorite pick. And then my favorite pick is probably the D-Hop pick, him slipping there to the 2-4. I like my own personally. I think Darren Waller right there is a dynamite pick. It gives me because I think he is closer to Travis Kelce than he is to George Kittle in my mind. I think there's going to be a 1 and 2 this year. Yeah. And so getting that position advantage was dope, but I favored the D-Hop pick. What about you? What's your favorite and least favorite?
Obviously I'm right there with you with Mahomes. I mean, I know Nicholas won the championship last year and he had Mahomes on his roster, and I think Mahomes was a 3rd round pick last year. And so this is a strategy that he has implemented and found success with. Part of that was on the back of taking that 6th or 7th round Stephon Diggs last year, and then just him blowing up every week. But this did allow Nicholas to really keep a similar roster construction, and also add in Saquon Barkley to his championship winning team. So looking at this, Nicholas now has I think 5 of his championship squad last year has returned based on his draft. Yeah, plus Saquon and a few others. So it's like I can't hate him for saying, hey, this was successful, I'm going to do it again. But I would never take a quarterback in the 2nd round, just like you highlighted with all those other guys later. My favorite pick, least favorite pick 2.0.
A double dipper? A
A double dipper,
dipper?
yeah, and a second dip. Is probably
in a COVID climate, you're gonna double dip.
we have individual bowls now, so it's okay. I'm also vaccinated, so vax to the max.
Hey, gang,
Uh,
ouchie,
yeah, that's right, boy. I had him put a needle in each of my nips. So
ouchie.
we, I don't know why I said that. So my second is probably James Robinson in the second round.
That's a good highlight.
Not that I don't believe in the talent of James Robinson, and obviously his situation is great, based on the necessity of Etienne going down. So Robinson, if he reprises that role and they're just as they use him just as much, great. There's just I have too much hesitancy, I suppose. Now looking at Tanner's squad, he's looking saying, I need to get a for sure running back here that I can rely on because of his pick situation. I understand it, but I also think there are guys like would you take? I think I might have taken Chris Carson over James Robinson, but in our two flex league, taking James Robinson when Allen Robinson and Terry McLaurin and Amari Cooper, those guys were still available. I'd take those guys over James Robinson. So yeah, that would be my least favorite pick 2.0. And my favorite pick of the second round there's gotta be. Man, I'm upset that Zeus had Aaron Jones and DeAndre Hopkins fall to him in the first and second.
Yeah, it's a heck of a start for him, man.
Yeah, quality right there. But just for variance, I'm gonna take Allen Robinson. I know that I drafted him, so it sounds like a homer pick, but all Allen Robinson has ever done is be so freaking good. So I'm excited to see how he plays out this year, and I think even with Andy Dalton, it's probably the best quarterback that he's had in a long or maybe ever. So yeah, I like the Allen Robinson pick.
Yeah, I did too. And like you said, as much okay, they're gonna start the Red Rocket for like 2 weeks, and then it's into Justin Fields, who's already the most talented quarterback Chicago's ever had.
Right.
And he's already so I think that offense should explode. And we're talking about, I don't remember how many touchdowns he had, but we're talking about a guy who at the Elite 11 camp beat Trevor Lawrence. No one talks about that. But at the quarterback camp, whenever they're coming out of high school, big recruits, he beat Trevor Lawrence. It's always been 1A and 1B. And so for him to have slipped and Chicago trade up for him, Justin Fields is as talented as anybody else in this class, except, I think he's just below Trevor still. I think he's right below him, but it's like he's the 1B when it comes to quarterback talent in this draft.
Yeah.
And it's been that way since he was 16, right? This isn't new. I'm not saying anything crazy. And so for this to be coming up now, it's why I drafted Mooney later, right? It's like that's a huge part. You have to believe in that offense somewhat. So let's go ahead. We'll speed up just a little bit here. We kind of get this rolling. So in the third round, what you got? Your favorite and your least favorite, or how about
my
this?
favorite
Actually,
pick?
how about this? You get the odds, and I'll just commentate on what you say and like add on to that, and then I'll get the evens, and then you commentate on what I say, and we'll just kind of speed this up a little bit.
Dope. All right, my favorite pick in the third round there is I'm gonna go with Amari Cooper because I felt like he should have gone earlier. I would have taken him up there after D-Hop and Allen Robinson. Amari Cooper is coming right up. And I saw a dope tweet where he like shook a guy just recently, and it was so exciting to watch. So yeah, Amari Cooper would be my favorite pick, and my least favorite pick in the third round would probably be Kyler Murray. And then at least favorite pick 2.0 would probably be Darrell Henderson, which was also my pick. So, which I like the choice of running back there based on what was available, but I wish there had been other choices there for me that that were sexier. So that's why I'm going to choose that piece.
Yeah, man. The thing about I love your Cooper take, but the thing about Henderson is that I'm clicking on it, so he just goes straight down the line. There's receivers like Ayuk and Godwin, and I'm trying to think of non-keepers here, but like Deontay Johnson, Julio Jones, I kind of went after that, and then give me those guys over a shared backfield with Sony Michel, former first-round pick. I mean, there's no way Sony Michel gets less than 125 touches, right? That would absolutely shock me if Michel didn't get 100-something touches. Every one of those is one Henderson doesn't get,
That's true.
And so I'm a little pessimistic, like for that spot. So I agree with you at the 30th pick of the draft. Obviously there's other players in this keeper, but I think there's guys I like more. So I agree with that.
Well, and Just for clarification here, so because I took like even though those other wide receivers are available, having kept DK, Calvin Ridley, AJ Brown, and having already drafted Allen Robinson, which I didn't intend to draft a wide receiver there in the second, but he was available. I felt like I don't pick again for 4 rounds. So after that pick, it seemed important to me to get a running back there. But yeah, you're right. There were definitely wide receivers there that I liked a lot.
Yeah. Which pick are you? Never mind. I'm with you. That we're tracking. So yeah, looking into round 4 for me, man. I think my favorite pick, the most fun pick, is Kyle Pitts. He's the most fun pick. We all know it. We've never seen a prospect like him. But he's definitely not my favorite, I don't think, of this round. Yeah, at the risk of being self-aggrandizing, I think Brandon Ayuk here has the opportunity to be a top 12 wide receiver. If he is the number 1 receiver on that offense and he's healthy, we all know he'll be that good. It's just if those 2 things have to happen. But if they do happen, look out. It's going to be awesome. And then I think my least favorite pick is going to be Josh Jacobs. Was he? He wasn't a keeper. He was a pick.
He was a keeper.
He was a keeper. Great. Well,
yeah.
I'll still roast it because I don't like it. So Josh Jacobs, keeping him at the 410. They brought in Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake's gonna get touches. That's part of it. Like, I think them bringing him in and John Gruden not saying we got to get him 300 touches this year, like he tried to say last year. He's not even trying to amp it up this year because he knows it's not going to happen. I'm genuinely concerned about this offense a little bit. Like, they lost Tyrell. Like, who are the receiving options? Like you said, like we were talking earlier before the show, it's Bryan Edwards and Henry Ruggs that aren't named Darren Waller. So I'm a little concerned about how this is going to go. I think Kenyon Drake is going to get a ton of receptions. And analytically speaking, in a PPR, 1 catch is worth 2.5 carries on how many points you usually get, points per expected touch. And so, yeah, I think Josh Jacobs is going to get a lot of touches. He may even double up, but he has to get 250% as many touches, essentially, as Kenyon Drake, because Kenyon Drake's going to get all the receiving work, as he should. This matches his play style better.
I agree.
And so I didn't love Josh Jacobs there. And it's like, and I mean, I can name the running backs that came after Josh Jacobs here for Prospect Perez. I mean, I like Javonte Williams way more, Gus Edwards way more, Chase Edmonds way more. These guys that get receiving work in a full PPR. I think you've got to start targeting those guys at that time, not a guy that's a ground and pound, because you just start relying on him having 1,000 yards rushing. You start relying on him having 10 rushing touchdowns. And that's, call me crazy, but I'm not going to bank on Josh Jacobs doing that, right? Like, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, that's my favorite, least favorite. What do you got to say about that?
I think I agree with you on the Josh Jacobs pick. I know it was a keeper, and I think that's right around where his ADP was too. So like, you know what, honestly, I would imagine that Josh Jacobs would have gone in that like 3rd round area anyways. Like when Miles Sanders and Chris Carson came off, I think people would have been looking at Josh Jacobs in the next. So I'm okay with Kirk spending his 4th round there. I honestly don't. Ayuk is my Ayuk over Godwin. And like maybe just over Godwin. The next guys to go are Julio Jones, Adam Thielen. Like, I see him. I don't know that he's probably right around there. But I think I probably would have taken a Godwin over Ayuk. Or I even think it'd be fun to have taken, but you already had Darren Waller. So it's like Kyle Pitts is in that area just for some fun stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to see Kyle Pitts as well. Ayuk is the one that is the scariest to me, because by the end of the season, you could be like, I took him in the 4th round, or you could be like, I took him in the 4th round. You know.
Look, I'm not playing for second. All right, I'm not playing for second. I'm not scared to take some risks. I'm not here for it. I'm here to get one of those rings, wear it on the podcast next year. You know, that's what I'm playing for.
I understand. I got you. All right, let's check out this next round here. So, in round 5, my favorite pick of the 5th round. My least favorite pick of the 5th round is Javonte Williams, because Marcus, I think we hyped him up, and Marcus is like, I'm in, and so he went. But I think that you're gonna have a 5th round pick on your bench for at least 5 weeks, and that doesn't excite me very much. And I would say my least favorite pick 2.0 is probably Jamar Chase, because. Or Michael Thomas, because he's not playing for 6 weeks. You know what? There's a lot of tough picks in the 5th round looking at it now. But Jamar Chase, I'm super worried about. between the all the drops in preseason and camp, the abuse allegations, everything that's come forward, it's just a little worrisome. I want to pump the brakes on Jamar Chase a little bit. But Michael Thomas, having a player that will not play for 6 weeks on your team in the 5th round is tough too. But if he comes back as the first round talent, Michael Thomas, then maybe you've got a league winner there at the back end of the season. So probably not, but maybe you do. So yeah, and my favorite pick is probably, I don't know. I really like Gus Edwards and Chase Edmonds. And honestly, and hockey leagues, I wanted all 3 of those guys. I didn't get it. Those guys all went before I had a chance to pick, but any of those 3 guys could have been my next pick. So I'll go with those 3.
Yeah, coming after that OBJ pick, which OBJ was my pick there. I love that OBJ pick. Right after that, I put 3 guys in my queue: Hawk, Gus, and Chase Edmonds. Sadly, I got the last of those 3, but I know I'm taking one of these 3 because especially when, I guess it was after the Chase pick. So Chase wasn't. I agree with you. I didn't have him. It's high volatility. I think he's still super talented. Ridiculous talent, but I think that year off of football, which actually might, side note, that might change the college football landscape if him and Penei Sewell and these other guys that sat out their last year of eligibility, Nico Collins, these kind of guys, if they struggle that rookie year, I think you might see a lot less sit outs. Which you can say it wasn't because of COVID that they sat out. Like that, Jamar Chase and Nico Collins never once said that was their reason. They sat out because they could, because I'm still going to get drafted. And I think you might see something if they struggle. Watch for the college football landscape to be completely changed, where players play their full 3 years or 4 years, depending on how good they are, before exiting and not sitting out of last year just based off of because they want to. So yeah, I'm with you on the Jamar Chase. And yeah, TJ Hawk that's a ridiculous pick. That's big time. That was a great value. I loved it. That's great pick, John. Going into the 6th, I think my favorite pick has to be, man, it's tough. This one's tough. My favorite pick is gonna be Raheem Mostert at the 6'5", by John again. Man, this is a fun little. John. Yeah, I got a lot of his. Apparently, I like his team a lot, but he's not brought up by either one of us when it comes to championships. So that's weird. So John, yeah, Raheem Mostert, if healthy, is going to be terrific. He's a home run hitter. I like him a lot. And then my least favorite pick is whoever the scrub-a-dub-dub is that took Dak Prescott. Feels a little bit early now. I like the stack of him and CD. Means I can for sure win weeks if CD is who I think he can be. Just like right then, if he throws 3 touchdowns to CD, it's over. It gets over. Like that week is probably mine. But I could have gone Ryan Tannehill or some of these other guys way later. Apparently Tua, right? So that's my regret. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. I'd also like to highlight Jerry Jeudy, just because I'm excited to watch Jeudy this year. So when Tanner took him, I was like, that's somebody that I was targeting there in the next round. So yeah, I don't disagree with any of the things you said there, though.
Let's go.
So 7th round, I'm going to say my favorite pick of the 7th round is Damian Harris. I'm great pick. It's somebody that, man, I wish would have fallen farther. But it was an excellent pick, great value, and I'm excited to see how it plays out. My least favorite pick of the 7th round would definitely have to be Xander, 69. Pick of DJ Chark. You still had, DJ Chark over LaVisca Chenault, even on the same team. And Antonio Brown was still there. There's a lot of talent still on the board, and I'm not a believer in DJ Chark. Maybe I'm proved wrong, but Xander, I think it was a scrub choice.
I know Xander, and he's not very old. What is the 69 for? My dad was born in 69, so I know it's not that. You know what that's?
I think it's when two opposing defenses and offenses trade sides of the field so that they are playing on each other's end zones. I think it has something to do with end zone play.
So you're telling me at the end of every quarter, the all NFL teams do a 69? Is that what I'm hearing?
100%, 100%. And if there's ever like a safety, they just impromptu 69 immediately.
Hey,
so
you gotta have a safe word. We're doing 69. All right.
Yeah. So Xander's a little bit more nuanced in the ins and outs of the NFL game. So clearly with that, but I do think this was a pick that I wouldn't have made. In fact, I was looking at my team, looking at Xander's, just going through the draft, and I was like, you know what? Of all the players on my team right now, because I have to drop somebody, I think I would drop DJ Chark from my team. So for me, if DJ Chark were on waivers, I wouldn't pick him up. At this point, maybe after week 1, I would say let's pick him up. But right now, had he gone undrafted, he wouldn't be somebody that I would be looking to pick up. Those are my picks.
To be taken at the 7-8 of a 17-round draft. So he's taken in the front half of the draft, and you're saying that you wouldn't even want him on waivers. That's wild. He's got a high volatility, man. I agree with that. And like, man, Xander, man, I was gassing you up. I was telling Nate he's good. He's in fantasy. And then he made this pick, and I was like, son of a gun. And then I went ahead and I just doubled down. Like, I was like, I kind of like some of these other receivers, but I got to take Biscuit just to kind of shove it. Be like, okay, I'll take the right receiver from the team. Don't worry, guys. I'm here. It's all right. No, I like all that, man. So let's skip ahead to the 8th here, moving around. Yeah, I think, man, my favorite pick, is a keeper. I was wondering, I was like, how is Chase Claypool there, man? I was like, whoa. That's dynamite.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite pick of the 8th is actually, I don't know, my least favorite is my Corey Davis pick. Not because I think it was a bad pick. It's just not fun. It's like,
yeah.
And he seems to be getting all the targets. Like, all the logic was there. My head was like, Justin, you know who the pick is. My heart, though, was like, come on, man, let's live a little, right? Corey Davis, but he's only 26, right? He could do it. Cole Beasley had a breakout year of 31. So I mean, this can happen, right? This is a real thing. And I think my least favorite pick is Corey Davis. So my favorite probably was Brandon Cooks, a keeper or a draft pick there.
Draft pick.
That's a great pick. That's my favorite. Who is that? Prospect Perez. So we'll give some props to the prospect. That's dynamite, man. I think there's a high possibility he gets 1,000 yards again as he continues to do every single year. And so getting that kind of value down there and a kind of a high floor kind of receiver, I'm here for it, man. Brandon Cooks is slept on as, in my opinion, a top 20 talent at wide receiver. Not like for fantasy, like talent wise. I mean, he gets open all the time and he can run every single route in the tree. So that's my favorite and least favorite. Kind of going back to back there is Cooks and Davis. What about what do you got to say about that?
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. I'd like to highlight the Michael Pittman pick there just because I'm excited about it, but also it could be nothing. So it's a risky pick there too. And Brandon Cooks, I'm hoping that he turns out to be something, but the Texans just have such a stigma with their offense. Like, I don't even know that anyone wants to watch a Texans game this year. And so, there's not a lot of excitement, but maybe he can still churn some fantasy gold out of garbage. That would be, I agree with you there.
What did you think of Russell Wilson there? To me, I think that was the right spot for him. It felt like a good spot.
Totally. I like Russ going there. I think that what you're getting value-wise is excellent. And looking around at what was available, there's still some pieces that I would have liked. Like, for example, I took Aaron Rodgers in the 11th round. You know what I mean? And I don't think Russell Wilson's going to blow A-Rod out of the water. So there's still some pieces there. You know, Tyler Boyd was there. I don't know what else he needed on his team at the time, but I don't hate the pick. I didn't want to take a running back or a quarterback in the 8th round, but Russ is dope.
Russ is dope, and I like that he's got the stack there, right, with Tyler Lockett. That's a hot stat. All right, so go ahead. What about you? Let's carry on to the 9th here.
Let's go. 9th round, man. Obviously, it's a keeper, but my favorite pick is Antonio Gibson in the 9th round. Good way to go, prospect again. But my actual non-keepered favorite pick, he was a keeper too. So was he. There's a lot of really good keepers in the 9th round. I'm going to say that Tyler Boyd is probably just way undervalued in fantasy football right now. And for Jamar Chase to have gone where he did and Tyler Boyd still to be all the way down here in the 9th round is pretty crazy. So I like Tyler Boyd and I like Trey Sermon in this round too. I think both those guys have potential to have a big role on their team. My least favorite pick of this round, man, there's not a lot of things I don't like about this round because I'd also really like the Mooney pick. Mooney's fun in this, although based on who is in our league, I would imagine you probably could have taken Mooney 2 rounds later, and he still would have been there. So my least favorite pick in this round, I guess, is probably by default, I have to say like Will Fuller, I guess, because I like everyone else. Matthew Stafford here, I think, is a cool pick because I like Matty Stafford, but I think there are other great quarterbacks still on the board that Tanner didn't have to spend a 9th rounder on Matthew Stafford. But I am excited to watch him this year. So,
yeah, is Matthew Stafford actually gonna win a playoff game with LA? You think? Is that roster ready for that?
I hope so. I feel like he's ready for that. I want that for him. So hopefully so. I think they are. I think they are.
I've been thinking about this. I think an injury to Matthew Stafford would be like the NFL saddest injury this year. I think that'd be the one where everyone was like, "Dang it!" Because it'd probably be career ending, But like if a season long, if he tore his ACL or something, I'm not speaking that into existence, obviously, but I think that would be the worst. I think the worst. Just everyone just like, "Dang, that was his chance. That was his chance."
Yeah.
Yeah, I like all that, man. I really do. Obviously, I think the actual best pick of the 9th round was CeeDee Lamb over Antonio Gibson. All crazy. Yeah, that's good. Going into the 10th here, man. My least favorite pick is taking Michael Carter, who might be the 3rd best running back. Was a day 3 NFL pick. Day 3 NFL picks don't hit very often. Your hit rate just plummets. And you're saying not only that, when I'm gonna draft him in his rookie year on a probably not that great of offense, when we already know he's not taking first. Like in his last preseason game, he took 2nd team reps.
Right.
So it's not like, it's not like he's getting the reps in preseason. So yeah, taking Michael Carter over, man. I mean, mainly Nyheim Hines plus another running back taken 2 rounds later, in my opinion, and Kenyon Drake. Like I think there's enough running back talent to go around, but mainly the wide receiver talent. My goodness, this is a dope round of wide receivers, keeper of Robert Woods included. But Jarvis in the 10th, I've got nothing wrong with that. I don't love it. I think that I don't love it, but I don't hate it, right? But man, the Moore brothers go in here with Rondale Moore and Elijah Moore, and a sandwich in between is a Higbee sandwich, man, because Higbee's great too. So I want to toss that to you because obviously I've got my own picks here. I guess you did too. Great. So I'll just compliment you. Great pick of Higbee there. I like that a lot. It's a great spot for him. But I'll ask you this as you can transfer us to the next round. Which Moore brother do you think scores more fantasy points in a full PPR? Rondale, with all the competition around him, right? Christian Kirk, AJ Green, D Hop, Chase Edmonds, right? All the receiving, but on a really good offense, right? It's a good quarterback, established quarterback, or the guy who's competing with Corey Davis, Jamison Crowder, and company, but with a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach. That's a defensive-minded head coach at that.
I'm gonna say I'm giving it to Elijah Moore.
All right. All right.
Because yeah, sorry about that.
You're a dumb soul.
Because AJ Green is such a. I'm just kidding. Because the actual reason is like everything that's being said right now about Zach Wilson and like how great he's looking, how wonderful he's done. I don't know if you heard Tony Romo talking about Zach Wilson, but it was really cool. Tony Romo was like, Zach Wilson, watching him play, this is a Patrick Mahomes level talent guy, and you will see that at some point this season. And he's all in on him. And like, if there's one guy in the world that when I hear him speak, I trust him, it's Tony Romo. All right. But for that reason, I'm probably going to take Zach Wilson just because I think it's going to be like these other guys on the Cardinals, they're gonna have their demanded like amount of targets. There's not that many extra targets that can go around, especially because Kyler Murray likes to hoof it too. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna go with Elijah Moore.
No, that's fine. And I think average depth of target, Elijah Moore might beat Rondale Moore by like 7 yards. I think they're gonna feed Rondale on. Oh, here's this. I could see his average depth of target being like 3 yards because he just gets so many screens behind the line of scrimmage. Like I could see that, which I love. In a PPR, you catch you get a catch and lose 2 yards. I'll take my 0.8 points and we'll keep going. Like that's fine with me. No, so I like it, man. I like it. And I think Elijah Moore is a supreme talent. If Elijah Moore, I said this in the Zoom. If Elijah Moore goes to like, if he would have gone to Green Bay, wheels up, I would have been drafting Elijah Moore like in the 5th. Literally, I think he's that talented. We'll just see what Zach Wilson is. I have Elijah like in 2 places just because I'm a little nervy. So moving ahead, what you got for us here in the 10th in the 11th has some names, man. There's a lot of names here. So what you got?
In the 11th round, there are 3 picks that I really like here in the 11th round. And there's another pick that I don't like just because I don't want to draft that person. But I'm a big fan of Michael Gallup here. I think that there's every possibility. In fact, on the ballers on Andy's like 32 shamelessly bold predictions, one of them for Cowboys was that Michael Gallup will be like the wide receiver to own among the 3 wide receivers. So I agree with you. I think that's too shamelessly bold. However, I do think Gallup's undervalued because people value CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper so high, but Michael Gallup's freaking good. And then Mike Williams, a big fan of the Mike Williams here all the way in the 11th round because Justin Herbert is great and he's going to sling that ball to somebody other than Keenan Allen. So I like Mike Williams there too. And then I'm tooting on the Aaron Rodgers. I'm glad that I waited as long as I did to take a quarterback when there were quarterbacks going up in the like 2, 3, and 6th rounds. And then every round before that, and I was able just to sit back and wait until all the positions that I had were filled and then be like, I'll just go ahead and take Aaron Rodgers real quick. Let me take a top 3 quarterback. Thank you. So yeah, it's possible. It's absolutely possible. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers will probably finish in the top 5. And yeah, I'm gonna give it to him. And so even if he finishes at number 6, an 11th round pick there is great for me. So yeah, that's gonna be it. My least favorite of the 11th round, honestly, I don't really have a least favorite of the 11th round. Maybe the one I wouldn't draft is Nelson Aguilar, because it's Nelson Aguilar. Like I don't want him on my team. He's in the same. He's up there with DJ Chark. They can both
they can jog on.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man. I wanted to give a shout out here, Xander. Actually, you had the pick of the round to me. Marquise Callaway has every opportunity to be the top receiving option for Jameis Winston this year. That's wild, and that's always been good historically for fantasy. So Marquise Callaway, of the guys here that can outproduce their ADP, man, I was pretty pissed when I saw him there. Kind of wish because I don't think anyone would have taken Nyheim Hines. So in retrospect, I might could have had both of them, but that's okay. So yeah, great pick there, Xander, with Callaway, and a shout out to the round before with Curtis Samuel. I thought he had 2. I think that there's he really picked it up here at the end, in my opinion. So moving on to the 12th. I think it's you. I think it's you, Nate, who had the best pick of the 12th, keepers excluded. And I don't know which one, because I was like, Jacoby Myers is a great pick. But Russell Gage, that's also a great pick. I really like both of them, but I'm going to have to give the main shout out to Marquise Brown on Tan Digler's roster. This could happen. This could happen, man. It could. It just could. There's some analytics you can look at. if you want to have some fun, if you want to spend money, go on to Matt Harmon's reception perception, because it's not free anymore, and look at the route tree and how good Marquise Brown actually is at some of these routes. It's just the fact that Lamar Jackson's actually not a good NFL quarterback. Um, if he could actually throw the ball well, Marquise Hollywood Brown would probably be more successful. So I don't know. I believe in that upside. So I think on pure upside, Marquise Brown has the highest upside of anybody taken in this round. Jacoby Myers, I liked him more before Cam got cut, which is weird. Because him and Cam have a thing, man. They connected, and so I was Jacoby Myers plus Cam equals top 36 receiver, very startable. But instead he kind of got, I think, a little host with Mac. We'll see what Mac does. So that's kind of, I think that's my favorite. It's Hollywood. My least favorite, there's just a probably Mike Gesicki, Zach Moss, Devin Singletary, I guess. Yeah, actually, for sure, Devin Singletary. Looking at the running back still available, and just, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. I'm just not interested. I'm just out. I'm out. Those running backs are gonna average like 6 touches a game because they just don't run the ball. And it's just so weird that you can do that in the modern NFL. But yeah, so I'm out on both those guys. What do you think?
I totally agree. Devin Singletary, Zach Moss. Who is it going to be? I don't care, because neither one of them are going to make me happy. Like, maybe one of them eventually takes over and you're like, oh yeah, and then it's like, oh, but the other one's still there. If they cut one, I'll be in on the guy that's still on the roster. But they won't, and so I'm not in.
Matt Brady's still there though, so would you? I don't think I would.
Yeah. When I say in, I mean I'm down with him in the 12th round.
Sure. I would just start drafting Breda in the 12th. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, you're right.
Man, take us into the 13th.
Let's go round 13.
Wrapping it up. Yeah.
Dude, round 13, Nicholas was able to snag Ryan Tannehill, which is pretty dope. But it was these last 9 rounds, Nicholas is just auto drafting, so I won't give him any credit for that.
No respect.
Yeah, no respect. But my favorite pick here in the 13th round is probably I don't know what to think about Jonnu Smith. I hope that it's awesome. But I also really think that an underrated player here is Devontae Parker. I know that they drafted a bunch. They obviously go out and draft Waddle. They trade for Will Fuller, but Devontae Parker last year, we got to see him really shine, and I think it's definitely possible that he can continue that. And those other guys are playing in the same position, like they're fighting each other for the same role. And Devontae Parker is just catching balls. So I like the pick there, 13th round. I don't feel like you risked anything on him. If it doesn't work out, he's an easy cut if he's the wide receiver 3 on that team. So yeah, I like Devontae Parker there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Tanner.
Do you have a least favorite coming around?
My least favorite is probably Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, guy's got to sit a couple weeks at the beginning probably with his injury.
Yeah, and it's a team that, like, we just got finished saying, like, Lamar Jackson's not a good NFL quarterback, and hopefully he can support one wide receiver. Like, it's not going to be 2 wide receivers and a tight end. So no, I wouldn't have wasted a pick on a guy that I think will be on the waivers after a couple weeks.
What'd you think of Jamal Williams here in the 13th for me?
Jamal Williams.
He becomes my 3rd running back on my roster at this point when I took him. Oh, no, that's not true. Fourth.
I don't hate it, because I think that I hate the Lions and the way they handle running backs now. Like, I love them as a team, but I hate all that they choose to represent. But yeah, maybe they use him and it's exciting. Maybe he's worthless and you can cut him. I mean, just don't know.
If he wasn't worthless behind Aaron Jones, how is he going to be worthless behind DeAndre Swift? But anyway,
he wasn't a guy you were comfortable starting when Aaron Jones played his weeks.
Bro, he was the running back 38 in PPR.
Okay.
And after the first 3 weeks, whenever he got a 50% snap share, he was good. The first 3 weeks were rough, but then after that, he was getting decent. Decent stuff.
He's
18,
good.
3, 21, 18, 8, 8, 13. I don't know, man. I don't know. I was just curious. It's all right. We don't have to like him. That's okay. I get it. He's not terrific, but I thought down here,
Yeah.
and he might be the week 1 starter for that team, which is pretty
That's
crazy.
true. You buy a week in the 12th round
Yeah.
or 13.
So 13. So moving into 14. All right. Let's just talk about it. There's 4 quarterbacks taken in the 14th. Okay. I want us both to rank them most favorite to least favorite for production for this year. For me, Jalen Hurts is if it wasn't for the franchise tag, I probably would have taken Jalen Hurts there. Because I think he has a real good chance. But because of the franchise tag, I went ahead and took Trey Lance. So my order for just production this year goes Hurts, Lance, Fields, Mack. I think Lance, I just like the offensive system for Lance, even though I like the opportunity for Fields kind of getting in there earlier. What about you?
Mine is Hurts, Mack, Fields, Lance.
Wow.
Because Hurts and Mack are both the starting quarterbacks on their team. And so, like, while we can say it's only a couple weeks till someone takes over, Matt Nagy could also just piss everyone off and just be like, Dalton's our boy. And we might not see Justin Fields for like 5 weeks. I agree with you, but it's in the realm of possibilities based on the fact that they're both second-string players right now. So I'm going to go with the guaranteed starts in Jalen Hurts and Mac Jones because you can draft them and you can start them right now. And you can't do that in week 1 with Justin Fields or Trey Lance. So I'm going to give the guaranteed production.
Okay, but would you draft them in that order?
As my QB1?
Sure.
Yes, because obviously I have to start them.
No,
and so
that's crazy.
Next year that will change, but this year I'm gonna take the starters right now.
All right, I hate you. All right, let's keep wrapping this up. Go, take us into the 15th.
All right, there are 2 picks that I really love here. In round 15, and that is Justin Tucker. I'm just kidding. I love Cam Akers as a keeper.
Mm-hmm.
Great call, Xander. That would have been, in fact, what I wish I had done is when I had made that trade in the draft with you to get your 11th and 12th is gone ETN Cam. And then but I don't want to burn 2 roster spots with injured guys all year. But Cam's going to be a great keeper in the 15th round next year. So that's really exciting. And then the other guy that I really love here is Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm pumped about that. And he's a guy that I wish I would have taken there toward the end just because I want to see how it plays out. And the Detroit Lions need somebody to catch the ball besides TJ Hawkinson. So, so I like that pick. There you go, Kirk. Way to go. And then I don't love I know Tanner is just saying, it's a dart throw at this point, but Sony Michel, I don't think that he gets, like, what'd you say earlier, 150 touches this season. I don't think that's accurate. I think he's going to be, I think they brought him in as a backup. In fact, I listened to the Ballers talk about him this morning, and Mike was like, they definitely were always going to bring someone in as insurance on the bench, but it's going to be the Darnell Anderson show. And, that's what they were all in agreement on, and I think I lean with them that way too. So, Sony Michel, I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to be on the waiver before too long. But 15th round, you have nothing to lose.
Yeah, if you have nothing to lose, give me the high upside guys. And I don't think that's Sony Michel, right? He had an offense last year, was the first running back, 2 years ago. And he has never. Yeah, I would have taken a more high upside. 16. We'll keep wrapping this sucker up. It's probably. Pat Freiermuth. I think it's probably my no. I'm tripping. It's Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard has league-winning upside. Absolutely, 100%. He's going to get some touches already, and if Zeke misses any time at all, Tony Pollard is automatically assumed a top 15 back of that week. Like that's how it goes. And so to get Tony Pollard on there it's kind of disrespectful. The other guys that went before him, in my opinion, because of how much league upside. I would take him over. If I would have had a more running back deep draft, I would have taken him over Jamal, but I just kind of needed some guys to be able to throw in at any point to get that for sure receiving work. But I would have taken him over Zach Moss, Evan Singletary, Sonny Michel, Kenyon Drake, James Conner, Michael Carter. I would have taken him over a lot of those guys. And so Tony Pollard should have gone, in my opinion, 4, 5, 6 rounds earlier, which I'm part of that problem. I could have taken him too. So this is a roast of all of us. But yeah, great pick there, Duke. Just kind of swooping in, taking league winning upside there in the 16th. My least favorite is Randall Cobb. I'm so tired of people talking about him. I'm so sick of it. It's so stupid. People like, oh, he's like for sure gonna get like at least 7 targets a game. Like based off of what?
He's
Is
Roger's
he
best friend.
right? Sure. Is he better than Alan Lazard? Is he
No.
better than Ecomania St. Brown at this point in his career? Like, yeah, it's like maybe like he might be.
Right.
He also might not be. And people are talking, which like he's fine down here. Like I don't mind the value. We're saying he's my least favorite pick of the round. People just talk about him. I'm like, shut up. Randall Cobb has as good of a chance of being a top 30 wide receiver as I do. It's not going to happen. There's a 0% chance. It's Devontae. Oh, it's not. But it's Devontae Adams injury dependent.
You're right, 100%.
And I'm not here for that. It's just so low. I like the Jordan Palmer pick a lot more. Or Josh Palmer. How about I say his name? But yeah, not a Randall Cobb fan there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I in this last round, looking at, these are all just either finishing out your teams or taking some dart throws. I think it's hilarious that John went with Deshaun Jackson and Sammy Watkins back to back, just hoping that one of these old guys is still good. Maybe Sammy Watkins. That's just the problem with Baltimore is now we got Sammy Watkins and they're like first round talent back, and okay, get out of here, Baltimore. So, but I liked Xander's pick of J.K. Dobbins again, but it's like, dude, he's burning 2 roster spots with injured guys, and I don't think that he's going to hold on to those. I think he's going to drop them and lose that keeper value. But I love Paris Campbell here in the 17th round. How exciting to get a guy that, maybe he has a bigger role than what everyone is imagining. I know you say he's like the wide receiver 1 for the team, and I don't believe that.
He absolutely could be.
He has as much opportunity to be a top 30 as Randall Cobb and me. All right. No,
is that a true belief?
No, it's not. Paris Campbell definitely could come out and we don't know exactly how it's going to shake out. So I think that's a great pick. I also kind of like Philip Lindsay here because it's Philip Lindsay and Mark Ingram and David Johnson, who David Johnson's still just on the waivers because everyone's like, nah. And who knows how it actually plays out or how they get injured and how that fits. But Philip Lindsay could have a way bigger role than what we were imagining. I just, again, the Houston Texans are so we'll see how it plays out.
Bad. So bad. All right, man. Hey, guys. All right, so that is our round-by-round breakdown. And we're going to wrap it up right here with the thing you all want to hear the most. We're going to give you championship predictions. Who beats who in the championship? Nate even has a special. He has a special little preview also of who he's got losing in the semifinals, which is pretty funny. He's going next level for us. So I'll go ahead and start us off here, Nate. I honestly think that everyone's listening to the 2 championship finalists right here. And I don't mean this. I guess I do mean it arrogantly. We both do fantasy football all year round. We listen to it all the time. We talk about it all the time. And I think that showed up in the draft. My wide receiver depth is off the chain. And I'm really, really excited about it. And I think that Dak CD stack is going to carry me along with Darren Waller. I think I'm absolutely going to win at least. I think I'm going to be winning at least 5 position groups every single week with tight end, quarterback, running back with Austin Eckler. And then I think at least 2 of my receivers are going to be better than my opponents every single time. And I think coming in like that, where I'm probably losing running back 2, and I might lose a flex or 2. It's like, that's only 3. That's at most 3 positions. And so I like that I'm coming in. Obviously, defense and kicker, I'm not going to pretend to know. And those things are going to change all the time. So of the guys we drafted, intentionally to be winning 5 of the 8 right off the bat for me, I think I'm set up for success. And then Nate, man, your squad, it is what it always is, man. Just a whole bunch of receivers that everybody loves and a whole bunch of running backs that people like, but they're kind of scared about. So I love Chris Carson. I think Allen Robinson, DK, Calvin Ridley, and AJ Brown are ready to carry you. And the receivers down at the bottom, I think they can spot start for you when you need them to, obviously because of bye weeks. So I love that. And they're all have different bye weeks, which is going to be fun. It's because they're kind of getting those spot starts pretty often. And you picking the right one might be hard, but that's not a bad problem to have. And then obviously Chris Carson is a beast. Chris Carson's a top 15 back. That's all there's to it. And so then to have the volatility behind it of Gaskin and Davis, I didn't realize you only drafted 4 running backs. That's exciting. So and one of them doesn't count because he's on the injury, because he's on the IR. So to have only and Mike Davis, Miles Gaskin, who might lose his job to Malcolm Brown, just kidding. That's just my optimism speaking from other leagues. And then Chris Carson, high volatility there as well. So I think we have similar builds with your wide receiver ceiling higher, and I think my quarterback ceiling is higher personally because of rushing upside. But yeah, I think we have 2 solid squads. And obviously, I beat you at tight end probably most weeks because of Waller and Higby. But I think you're looking at it, man. I think these are 2 really, really good squads that are ready to rock and roll. Despite Kevin being projected for like 1 billion points in week 1, I think they're overhyping Deebo Samuel. What about you, man? What's your prediction here?
Well, I quickly just want to highlight, I also took Daryl Henderson.
Hold on a second.
So I was highlighting that I also drafted Daryl Henderson. So I took 5 running backs.
I didn't see it.
Well, because remember I put it on Nicholas's team. Yeah. So no problem. Just wanted to highlight that. So what I've got, I'm taking it to the semifinals. I think our 2 semifinalists this year are gonna be we're gonna see Justin and Marcus, both in the championship, or both ready to head into the championship. And I think that Justin and Marcus are both going to suffer heartbreaking defeats, and they're going to just be so sad. And the people that are going to beat them, like, I'm not certain of this, I guess. I would say that, like, it's going to be me for sure. I'm going to be in there, and I'm going to beat in the ship this year the champion, the defending champion in Papa Elway. I think Nicholas is gonna repeat. He's gonna head there, and but then he is going down. I don't believe that he's going to be able to hang with it 2 years in a row, but I think that he's got a squad to get him there. So, Marcus, if you do make it to the ship and win this year, I will send you your 2019 championship ring. And if not, I'll just keep it so that I can keep doing this.
The funniest thing is you're like, I wonder who it's going to be, even though one of them is Marcus, who you're saying is going to lose. I was like, okay.
So yeah, that's what I got. I got me, the 4 people heading to the semis: Justin, Marcus, Nate, and Nick. And then Nate and Nick moving on, where Nicholas will ultimately be the loser that he is, / super famous YouTube star, and we all hate him.
Literally so famous. More people know who he is than know of any of us.
100%.
It's so crazy. Hey man, thanks for coming on. It's a lot of fun doing this today after the draft. Striking while the iron's hot. Guys, go ahead and check it out. Give us a like on the YouTube page so you know you saw it. And I'll be posting this up soon. Appreciate y'all all, guys. It's a lot of fun. Like Nate said, it's the guys who make the league. And so this is a lot, very enjoyable. It's fun going into this knowing we can roast you and it's going to be okay, right? Not having to worry about like everyone getting all upset or whatever. But it's just a good time. Nate, you have anything to add?
Nope. Guys, thanks for just being in the league, man. Love you guys to death. And I'm excited to keep doing this and keep getting the season underway.
Yes, sir. Watch football this weekend. College football kicking off, and then next weekend, boys, it all goes down. All right, hey, y'all, check it out next week too. I'm looking for people. If you're interested in being in it, hit me up, and so I don't have to hit you up and recruit you, and we can do a show. It'd be a lot of fun. All right, guys, y'all have a safe night.